destructive work. And also you have to put in your mind that this patient will need to change his veneers 3 times in his life. Orthodontic treatment. The limitations, the time, cost, patient cooperation. But the most important thing is the relapse. Because these cases need permanent retainer. If you have very severe case, you will need to combine both restorative and orthodontic treatment, and we will understand how we combine. Limitation in this approach is the high cost. The patient will pay for ortho and will pay for veneers. Now, orthodontic strategies. I said I will not talk about how we close them by veneers or crowns because this is not my specialty. But I will tell you that this case needs veneer, need a crown. Orthodontic strategies, you have either one of 3. Strategy 1, complete space closure. You close all the spaces by orthodontic treatment. Space redistribution. Sometimes you have larger space, you cannot close it. The second option is the space redistribution. Sometimes you have large spaces, not well distributed, 3 millimeter on the left side, 1 millimeter on the right side. You have to redistribute these spaces, as in this case. Large space in the midline, you can't put a tooth, you can't close the space completely by ortho, and we will know why. So you have to redistribute these spaces. The third strategy in orthodontics is the space opening for missing teeth. Sometimes you have congenital missing teeth, extracted teeth that could result in spacing. So you should open space for that tooth rather than doing space closure. Now, we will discuss some important orthodontic types. First, retraction. How we close these spaces? By retracting the incisors. When you retract the incisors, all the spaces are going to be closed, but within the limitation. And we will know what are our limitations as an orthodontist. Retraction, which is called complete space closure. You can retract the incisors and the closed spaces. Sometimes you cannot retract the incisors because the other factors that we will discuss in the diagnosis. You have to do what is called loss of anchorage. In such cases, you move all the teeth toward the midline. The centrals, laterals, even till you reach the molars. All the teeth must be moved forward toward the midline. Also, this could be subjected to little amount of retraction, unless you use an advanced biomechanics. As you can see here, you move all the teeth forward, which is called loss of anchorage. Okay? In both of these 2 types of movements, you have either. We have many types of retraction movements in orthodontics, but the most preferable for space closure, either bodily or controlled tipping. Sometimes you need bodily movement, sometimes you need controlled tipping. In the upper, you need bodily retraction because you have hard pellet, you have enough amount of bone. In the lower, you cannot retract bodily because the root apice will be outside of the nasal bone. So you need controlled tipping. Just look to the animation. This is the bodily, this is the controlled tipping. Now, there is no switch button in the orthodontic appliance that you can switch or adjust the appliance to do bodily. How we can do this? This is called the biomechanics. As an MBT user, I use the MBT. Why? Because it has positive torque for the central, 17-degree torque. This will result in good movement. When you retract, the teeth will rotate in this direction, the clockwise direction, which could result in uncontrolled tipping. The bracket torque, which is positive 17, will give you an opposite movement in the opposite direction. So there will be neutral movements, could result in bodily. This is not enough. In the lower arch, you have negative 6. You will retract, you will create a lingual tipping. The negative 6 in LVT bracket will also create another tipping. The result will be frustration and control tipping. So in such cases, you have to invert the brackets in the lower. يعني شدة بالمضروب bracket to make it positive 6. In this way, you will get what is called control tipping. Why it is not body in the lower? Because the torque is 6 and the upper is still 17. So you will get control tipping. An additional option is to change the amount of control tipping on the expense of body. You have to change the wires. You have to make an RCS bend in the wire. Smooth bend will add to the torque of the brackets in this way. And you can control how much you need body or control tipping. 4 millimeters, sometimes you make it 2 millimeters, the curve, sometimes up to 6 millimeters. So this is a small hint about the orthodontic biomechanics, and this is an illustration how the wire should be before insertion. Should provide an intrusive force. يعني شوف الواير يكون بالفيستيبيول كأنما قبل ما نسوي له for engagement بالرايت ستوب. Don't forget that after space closure, whether by ortho or by veneers, you need permanent retainers because these spaces are tend to open. In this case, يعني الصورة هنا stretch بس هو كلش وايد بالسنتر. Median diastema, they close it by composite for 3 times. They close it after 1 to 2 months, the space open. Space open. Why? Because of the pressure of the papilla. The papilla will press against the composite, it will reopen the space. So what we do? We remove all the composite from it and close the space orthodontically to get normal width of the incisors, and we put permanent retainer. Now, after we know the different types of management, ortho-restorative combination, the tipping, control tipping and body, we will select according to the diagnosis which approach. For that reason, I put the diagnosis beyond the management. حتى أشدكم بالبداية للمانجمنت تتلهف شلون تعالج، على بقى راح تختار المانجمنت على النقاط اللي احنا نحكيها. Diagnosis and cases. These are the most important points that you should look for during the diagnosis. Face proportions, nasolabial angle, lower lip to chin, teeth proportions, teeth prognosis, axial inclination and deep bite. There's a lot of them, but we have limited time. Extraoral or face proportions. If you have a wide face and you have spacing, you can increase the width of the teeth because these teeth must be proportional to the width of the face. It is unwise to put normal teeth in a wide face. This is number one. If you have prominent upper lip, reduce the nasolabial angle. If you have prominent lower lip, prominent in relation to the chin, if the lower lip in front of the chin and you have spaces, it is better to retract and close by ortho. If you have reduced prominent upper lip and you have spacing, it is better to close the spaces by ortho because you will improve the profile. Don't do veneers if you have defects in these factors. Wide face, a cover of swollen, suppressed, and very wide face. Wide face with median diastema. It is better to make the teeth wide. It is better to do veneers. But what happened? We didn't do veneers. We do complete space closure. Factor. To the proportions. Put in your mind, when you have a small teeth in relation to the face, it is better to do veneers. Median diastema and spacing between the centrals and laterals. The laterals are small in size. The centrals normal. It is unwise to put veneers or crowns or whatever on the centrals. They will be very wide. The ideal option for such cases is to close the median diastema orthodontically and leave spaces, medial and distal collaterals for future veneers. Because they are pear-shaped, they are small in size. And we say when you have small teeth, it's better to increase their width. The amount and distribution of spaces. In some cases, you have unevenly distributed spaces. 5-6 millimeter median diastema. In the lower also. In the upper, you have well distributed spaces. So let's say for the upper, you can do veneers, but for the lower, you can't. Because they are large spaces. You have to redistribute them. Median diastema. Redistribute the spaces, then do veneers. Don't forget the permanent retainer. Okay? This is the first stage of veneers. After that, you will do buccal segment veneers. Another severe case. Large diastema in the lower, generalize the spacing in the upper and the lower. What you should do in such case? Redistribute the spaces in the lower. Redistribute. Reduce these spaces, then do veneers. The question here, why I don't do complete space closure for such case? Why I don't close all the spaces by orthodontic treatment? The end control technique. The bony support, you don't have enough bone in the lower. You will end with fenestration. This will be your end result. The root pieces will be outside the bone. So this is your limit. Reduce the spaces, then do veneers. Okay? Another factor. The number, shape, and prognosis of the teeth. You have congenital missing lateral. It is mandatory to open space for this lateral because the teeth in the left and the right side must be in the same number. If you decide not to open space for the lateral, let's say the patient has overjet, you have to extract this lateral and close the space completely. If the case accepts that, open space for the lateral. You have missing central. You have missing 5 for the same case. The decision was non-extraction treatment in the lower. So in the upper, I have to open spaces. You have to open space for the central and put temporary bridge and open space for the 5. Because the number. يعني بالأطراف عدد زوجي باللور عدد زوجي 12 سن على 12 سن ما يصير 11 على 12 ما تحصل اوكلوجن اوكي وما يصير يونيلاترال يعني هذه الجهه لها 10 اسنان وهذه الجهه لها 9 اسنان ما يصير لازم الليفت والرايت ذا سيم نمبر ودائما اعداد زوجيه هاي احكيها بالعربي حتى ما ننساها congenital missing laterals. If you do veneers, you will end with white teeth. You will disrupt the tooth proportions. So, this is a noise and not correct and anesthetic. So, open spaces for future implants or bridges. Always I put a temporary composite bridge to give time for the patient for healing, for implant and so on, and for aesthetic. Also, it should act as a good retainer. Prognosis of the teeth, don't forget that. General spacing, poor prognosis, composites, caries. Why I do ortho? It's better to do veneers for this patient because even if you close the spaces by orthodontic treatment, the shape of the teeth is ugly because they have poor prognosis. It's better for such cases to close it by veneers in order to change the shape, the size of these teeth, to remove the caries and so on. So, the prognosis is an important factor for decision making. For this case, it's better to do ortho, but sometimes if you manage the case correctly, you can do it by crowns or veneers. It's better to open space for the lateral or extract this lateral and close space by ortho. But what we do? We change the shape of this canine to lateral. In the reduction, we reduce more from the medial rather than from the distal in order to correct the midline, as you can see here. And we do crowns because we have poor prognosis in the long treatment, peg-shaped laterals, falling, fractured incisors, and so on. So the prognosis guide us in this decision making. If you do ortho, you will close the spaces, but you will end with an unwell-looking teeth. So try to minimize the cost for the patient. This is the case. The axial inclination of the incisors. Sometimes you have proclined incisors with the spacing. Also, close these spaces by ortho. Don't do veneers because they are proclined. When you will put veneers, when I say veneers, I mean direct or indirect. Okay? The incisors will become more bulky. So try to retract these incisors and close the spaces by orthodontic treatment. It's better. Axial inclination, proclined upper and lower incisors, and also the lower lip in front of the chin. So do complete space closure. You can see the improvement in the position of the lip in relation to the upper lip and in relation to the chin. It's better than veneers. All these cases, when the patient came to our clinic, he asked, which is better? Shall I do veneers or ortho? So we have to make decision according to for future implants. Congenital missing laterals. The upper lip is normal, so we have to open space for the lateral. You should not retract. Also, the size of the centrals is small. It is better to do bridges after the orthodontic treatment. So we open spaces orthodontically, we put temporary crowns or veneers, so more than the bridges. Then the patient should be on prosthesis in the future. This is the same case. Management summary. If the nasolabial angle and lower lip were positive, which I mean prominent, do ortho. If the axial inclination is positive, do ortho. And equally distributed the spaces, positive, do ortho. If you have deep bites and gummy smile, do ortho and close spaces. All these cases has the spacing. I talk about spacing today. If you have young patients and healthy teeth, do ortho. Otherwise, you can do veneers or combination of them. This is the summary. ملخص لكل الموضوع مع السبيسing. Take a photo. Home message. Space dentition appear in about 1/3 of the population. Treatment plan depends on the etiology, diagnostic findings that we talked about, and the socio-economic status of the patient. Fixed retainers are indicated to maintain the treatment outcome. You have to put fixed or permanent retainers. Don't make the incisors too wide. And don't retract the incisors too much beyond their bone support. Thank you, and hope to see you again.
Thank you, Dr. Hassan, for your lecture. Are there any questions? We have time for one question.
شكرا جزيلا للدكتور حسين النجار على هذه المحاضرة القيمة. يتفضل الآن الدكتور فائز الحمداني لتسليم الدعي إلى الدكتور حسين.